My name is Olivia. I am 38 years old, and let me tell you, my journey through life has been anything but smooth. I've got three wonderful kids. My eldest daughter, Ava, who's 13 and full of curiosity about the world. My son, Noah, who's 9 and always dreaming up new adventures. And my little girl, Mia, who's just turned 5 and brings so much joy with her innocent laughter. They are the light of my life, the reason I wake up every morning and push through whatever comes my way. I lost both my parents in a tragic car accident when I was only 15. It totally shattered my world, leaving me to fend for myself in a cold, unforgiving system of foster homes and temporary guardians. I bounced from one place to another, learning early on that trust was a luxury I couldn't afford. I thought that was the lowest point life could throw at me. But oh, how wrong I was. I married my high school sweetheart at 19, convinced it was the fairy tale I'd always dreamed of. We built what seemed like a solid life together for over 14 years. Birthdays, holidays, school runs, the whole package. But one rainy evening, he sat me down after the kids were asleep and confessed he had fallen out of love, that he needed to find himself elsewhere. Mia was barely a toddler, still in diapers and clinging to my legs. Noah was just starting elementary school, full of questions, and Ava was navigating those awkward preteen years. He packed a bag and walked out that night without a backward glance. No child support checks, no weekend visits, no late-night calls to tuck the kids in over the phone. Nothing. It was as if our family had never existed for him. From that day forward, it was just me against the world, raising my 3 little ones in a cramped 2-bedroom apartment in the quiet suburb of Willowbrook. The place is old, with leaky faucets, thin walls that let in every neighbor's argument, creaky floors, and windows that barely keep out the winter chill. It's far from perfect, but we've made it our sanctuary. Posters on the walls, handmade decorations, and laughter echoing whenever possible. Without a college degree, life got in the way of those plans. I had to hustle for whatever jobs I could find. My main gig is as a caregiver for the elderly. I visit homes, administer medications, prepare meals, help with bathing and dressing, and sometimes just sit and listen to their stories from decades past. It's rewarding in its own way, seeing their smiles when I bring a little comfort. But the pay is modest and the hours are unpredictable. To make ends meet, I took on side work cleaning houses and small offices. No fancy agency backing me. Just me, my bucket, mop, and determination. I'd start early in the morning after dropping the kids at school, rush through caregiving shifts, then scrub bathrooms, vacuum carpets, polish windows, and haul trash late into the evenings. Some clients were angels, tipping extra or offering leftover food. Others were harsh, complaining about invisible dust or delaying payments. There were months when the rent was late, utilities got shut off briefly, or we stretched meals with cheap pasta and canned goods. But quitting? Never an option. My kids needed food on the table, shoes that fit, school supplies, and most importantly, a mom who showed them strength. Even on days when my back ached from lifting patients, or when a cold knocked me down, or when the weight of loneliness hit hardest at night, I'd push through. After tucking Ava, Noah, and Mia into bed, reading stories, singing soft lullabies, I'd sit in the dim light, watching their peaceful faces. I'd gently stroke their hair, kiss their cheeks, and whisper promises. One day, things will be better. Mommy's going to make it all okay. That hope was my fuel, the quiet fire keeping me going through the exhaustion. Then, one stormy winter night, everything came crashing down, literally. I'd just finished a late cleaning job downtown. The rain was pouring in sheets, thunder rumbling, streets flooded and deserted. I was walking home with the kids after picking them up from a neighbor's, our usual routine, when my shifts ran long. Ava gripped my left hand tightly, Noah my right, and little Mia was bundled in my arms under an umbrella that did little against the wind. Mommy, it's so cold and wet. Noah shivered, his voice small. I hugged him closer, wrapping my coat around him as best I could. We're almost there, sweetie. Just a few more blocks. Hold on tight. Suddenly, blinding headlights swerved toward us from around the corner. A car hydroplaned on the slick road, tires screeching. There was a deafening crash, metal twisting, glass shattering. Pain exploded everywhere, then darkness swallowed me whole. I woke up to harsh fluorescent lights, beeping monitors, and the sharp scent of antiseptic. Hospital. My heart raced in panic. My babies, where were they? I tried to sit up, but agony shot through my body. A kind nurse rushed in, placing a gentle hand on my shoulder. They're okay, she said softly. Minor bruises and scrapes, but safe. They're in the next room, resting. Tears streamed down my face as relief flooded me. Moments later, the door burst open, and 3 small figures ran in, Ava leading, Noah and Mia trailing. Mommy, they cried, climbing carefully onto the bed for hugs, holding them, feeling their warm little bodies against mine. I sobbed with a mix of gratitude and terror. We were alive, but the doctor delivered grim news soon after. Your leg is severely fractured, he explained, showing X-rays, multiple breaks. You'll need surgery, pins, and at least 8 to 10 weeks of strict rest and rehab. No weight-bearing. Rest? The word felt like a joke. Doctor, I can't rest, I pleaded weakly. I have jobs, bills piling up, rent due, 3 kids to feed. He looked sympathetic, but firm. Your health comes first, or you risk permanent damage. As if that wasn't enough. More blows came. In the chaos of the accident, my cleaning cart, full of borrowed supplies I'd promised to return, had been destroyed. Worse, the out-of-control car had veered into a high-end boutique storefront nearby, causing major damage. The store owner, through insurance and lawyers, pinned partial liability on the pedestrian side somehow, and suddenly I owed $30,000 in damages and replacements. $30,000? It felt like a death sentence. How could I ever pay that? That night, after the kids finally dozed off in chairs beside my bed, I muffled my cries into the pillow, despair crushing me. Survival seemed impossible, yet in the depths of that darkness, a spark ignited. A local news outlet caught wind of the accident. A single mom, struck while protecting her kids, and ran a short segment. Someone filmed a quick interview with me from the hospital bed, sharing snippets of our struggles. It went viral overnight on social media. Strangers poured out messages of support, praying for you. You're so strong. Hang in there. Donations trickled in via an online fundraiser a compassionate nurse set up. Small amounts at first, then more. Enough to cover immediate needs like food and kid clothes. Then my phone rang one afternoon. A calm, deep voice on the other end. "I've seen your story. It touched me deeply. I'd like to help." My heart pounded. Scams were everywhere. "Who is this?" I asked cautiously. "Someone who believes in second chances," he replied. "You'll know soon." 2 days later, my hospital room filled with visitors. They brought balloons, teddy bears for the kids, homemade meals, cozy blankets, and gift cards. At the front was a kind-faced man in his 30s. "Hi, Olivia." He smiled warmly. "I'm Alexander, Alex for short. I run a small foundation that helps families in crisis. Your resilience inspired me." Tears blurred my vision. "Why us? Why me?" I whispered. He shrugged gently. "Because the world needs more stories like yours to remind us kindness matters, and because I can." Alex and his team didn't stop at visits. They covered every penny of my medical bills. Surgery, therapy, everything. They arranged in-home help during recovery, meals delivered, even tutoring to keep the kids caught up on schoolwork. Weeks later, once I was discharged on crutches, they surprised us again. "Close your eyes and come with us," Alex said with a grin. We piled into a van and drove to a lovely neighborhood nearby. There stood a spacious 3-bedroom house, freshly painted, with a backyard swing set already installed. "This is yours now," Alex announced, handing over the keys. "Paid in full, no mortgage, no rent worries ever again." I collapsed to the grass in shock, sobbing uncontrollably as the kids explored wide-eyed, shouting in excitement. For the first time in forever, we had space, security, a real home. Months passed as I healed, physically and emotionally. Alex checked in often, becoming like a big brother figure. One day over coffee, he asked, "Olivia, what's your biggest dream?" If money weren't an issue. I hesitated, then shared something I'd buried long ago. I've always wanted to own a small bakery. I love baking. Cookies, cakes, breads. It makes people happy, like the treats I make for the kids. With his foundation support, funding, business classes, location scouting, I made it real. Olivia's Sweet Haven opened its doors last year, a cozy spot with fresh pastries, coffee, and a welcoming vibe where locals gather. It's thriving, giving me flexible hours to be with Ava, Noah, and Mia. Alex didn't just rescue us. He restored my faith in humanity. He showed that good people are out there, ready to lift others when they fall. From scraping by with nothing to owning a home, running a successful business, and watching my children flourish, happy, confident, dreaming big, life feels like a gift now. If you're facing tough times, feeling like the weight is too much, please don't give up. Hold on. Kindness can appear when you least expect it, and brighter days are ahead. Keep fighting for your tomorrow. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to English Easy Voice for more inspiring tales like this one. Thank you for listening.